life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every week we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, or just the unusual. My name is Greg Bakken, and thank you very much for joining me today. You know, I got to say that last night was pretty amazing, and I got to explain why real fast. You know, being a paranormal investigator, we do these classes along with Char Savoy from Charvinity and Metamorphosis Connections. That we do this paranormal class, and at the end of the 6-week course, we bring our students to a location to do an investigation, and it's pretty fantastic because we get to see a great location as well as get to see some people who've never done a paranormal investigation and see how they react in certain situations. It's a lot. It's really transformative, to be honest, because you get to see exactly how people can be confronted with spirits and a respectful level. And I just really am on a high from that, even though we didn't stop till 3:30 in the morning. And it's a very much like I'm going to crawl under this desk after the show, and maybe Matt McNeil will wake me up and let me go home, tomorrow afternoon or something like that. But, I do want to say thank you to the Grant House for allowing us out there. And I also want to give a special shout out to the new restaurant that's in there, Lil Mabel's Table. And this place, if you're a foodie, and it's only about an hour out of the Twin Cities, not even that. If you're a foodie, go check it out. Go check out the Grant House. Go check out Lil Mabel's Table. They took very good care of us this weekend. Michelle and Bruce, thank you very much for everything. And we were talking about food and love, and the connection of love and food to be able to make it the best food that they can, as well as just have following your dreams. And it became a very emotional conversation. And then the whole weekend is emotional because people are being faced with stuff that helps them grow. So I'm at a very grateful place today. So I just really wanted to say that. And I think it's good. I think this is a good segue because I'm with somebody who is always grateful, somebody who's always about, trying to find the best place for themselves to be in as well as others. So today I have on Lily McNamara, who's part of the group Twin Cities Pagan Pride that's putting on Paganicon 2023. We're going to be talking about this event that is happening March 17th through 19th at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth. You can get tickets at tcpaganpride.org. Lily, welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Hello, Greg. Thank you for having me. And yes, I love community, and I also love food. Now you made me hungry. I think I'm going to have to go up there. You
should. Please do. And if you do, or if anyone does, please, just let them know that we sent you up there, because it is really, really a really great place. I don't know how many times I can say really in a sentence, but when you go to bed at 3:30, I'm just lucky that I can walk. So I'd like to invite all of our listeners to join into the conversation. You could do so to call in and ask Lily a question about Paganicon. You can do that live on the air, 952-946-6205. That's 952-946-6205. You can even email us a comment. The email address for the station is comment@am950radio.com. We are live on AM 950 Radio, but also streaming video on the following Facebook pages. You can watch us on AM 950, Things Network, MN Ghostbox, Free Spirited Network, RU Media, Skeleton Key Network, and the Temple of Phoenix Rising. So please support those pages. And if you have a question there, just put it in the comments.
Absolutely. And I want to just take a minute and say thank you to everyone who's doing the technology here, because I'm not a technology person. And so mad props to everyone who is making this possible.
Well, that's Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
And I'm not really sure if the thanks are in order, but see, now here we go. Okay, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just a crappy producer.
Oh, here we go. With his best Eeyore,
That's what I was thinking of before you even said that. I'm like, I sound like Eeyore, and then you mentioned it.
Like, there we go. I'm just trying my best. So, Lily, what's for those of you who don't know what Paganicon is, could you tell them and why would be a great experience for them?
Because we are fabulous people is the short answer. But it is a pagan and spiritual convention that's in Plymouth, Minnesota. It lasts 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there are countless workshops, and the focus is like diversity. So all paths are welcome. And if you're curious or like super intense about it, there is a concert on Friday night and a costume ball on Saturday night if you want to dress up. And there are party suites and vendors. And so it's great because there's something for everybody. And it's a lot of fun to be in a place that's respectful and safe and open, where you can ask questions that in other parts of your life, like besides Google, you don't have access to that kind of knowledge.
No. And it's really interesting. Like you mentioned, like the concert, and last year when you all were on, we played a little bit of the music of your artist, that one of the artists that were performing there, and we just because we keep getting kicked off of Facebook every time we play any kind of music. We're not doing it at the moment. But who's playing this year?
Okay, so we have for the concert, it's Sharon, Night and Winter, and then for the ball, it is. We're having a twofer. This is the first year we've had two. I'm so excited. So the Mechanist and the Star Goddess will be the first part of the ball. And then we'll obviously have the break for the costume contest. So make sure you come in all your glam. And then Open Investigation will be the second half of the ball, who are amazing to watch live.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was taken by the name Open Investigation, because in my world, that's like, oh, we're just going to investigate the hotel or something. And it's like, no, it's a musical act.
Yes. And actually, the first time I was introduced to them, I thought of you and I was like, oh, is this Greg's band?
Yeah, my band. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no, it's not. It's music. But I still have that correlation. So, yeah, paranormal people come.
Well, and exactly that. I mean, that's the whole thing. And, it was interesting because before we started the show, you and I were talking about some investigations and stuff that we've experienced together, or not together, but in terms of our worlds and whatnot. And the idea of like, it's so, I mean, we talk about this all the time, that paranormal work and mediumship and metaphysical work, that, we say, sure, they overlap, but they don't only overlap. They're the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. And with that, like, talking about Paganicon and the paranormal, a lot of things are the same. It's just different terminology.
Yeah.
An investigation versus mediumship, like those are so similar. They're just different techniques for the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what Paganicon is about. It's like, it doesn't matter terminology. We're all the same and we're all there as a community. Right.
And, that's the thing that is, that's a bit that's really important to get across, as well as the idea of like, the all-inclusiveness of what this event is about. And one of the things I remember we've talked about before is how to make sure to get people who are interested. You don't have to be deep into the culture to go there and dip your toe into the convention.
Yeah, and it's my first year many years ago. I was a scared little kid. And I went to Paganicon, and I honestly, because I'm all spiritual and metaphysical and not really pagan way back then, and I didn't think I would fit in, and I thought everyone would hate me. And I went, and everyone was nice. Everyone was like, well, yeah, you fit in here. Why wouldn't you? Are you going to throw something at us?
Right.
And it's like, as long as you're respectful, you fit in. There's a place for you.
Right.
And so I love it.
That is really interesting. And I remember also we talked last year about like programming for people who hadn't maybe experience or just want to learn more. Is there more of that this year?
there is, I dare say that it is the best programming year to date. There is so much diversity. There are so many cool rituals. So like, it's nice to go to a ritual where you don't have to do anything. You're just observing and being present. And this gives you a space to do that, where it's like, I don't know where to stand. I don't know what to do. Don't worry, we got you. And like all these one-on-one classes, to intermediate, to expert, like there's, no matter where you are, you can dip a toe in just fine.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the important thing about it is like, if you have the interest to learn about it, then you have you're going to be taken care of.
Yep, exactly.
And part of it too is the exploration anyway of on your own, just like going around the vendor room and everything like that. Yeah,
the vendor room, I'm not gonna lie, it's so cool this year. There's a leather worker, and I saw a picture on Facebook there, and I was like, I actually shared it on my Facebook, and I was like, if anyone wants to buy me this backpack, this is what I want. I freaked out. So I'm like, oh, so there's some pretty cool, and actually stained glass. We have a vendor doing stained glass too. So, I mean, some unique product is going to be there.
You have an iron worker there as well. What is this? No. Is this medieval? What is going on over here?
No, that's actually a Renaissance festival that has like the iron workers.
You're right,
and
exactly.
But no, she comes with a bunch of different stained glass, and it's cool. I did buy it for my mom. Because she thought it was really pretty. So my mom got a gift last year.
Oh, that is nice. I mean, that's the fun thing about that too, is being able, I mean, let alone the programming, it's also the vendors and everything else. I mean, it really makes up the whole experience.
Yeah. And if ever, like, we have it where you can come to the event and you buy a ticket, but we also have parts of the event that are just open to the public.
Oh,
like if you just want to come and be like, is this even my people? The vendor room, the healer and reader room where the psychics and Reiki people are, the art show is all open to the public. And so we want this to be something where it's welcoming. So if you're like, no, I don't want any programming, but you want to come and see what we sell because we have all the pretty things.
Yeah,
absolutely. Stop by.
I mean, can't be fairer than that. Let's do this. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Lily McNamara as we talk more about Paganicon 2023. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Seward Co-op is now offering convenient self-serve and prepackaged hot options and salad bars at both the Franklin and Friendship stores. Breakfast items available daily until 11 a.m. and brunch served all day every Sunday. Their weekly lunch and dinner menus highlight cuisines from around the world. They offer vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options daily. 95% of the ingredients used are organic from small-scale, local community food producers whenever possible. More at seward.coop.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
This is Gregory Rich, host of Drink in the Style and owner of Habitation Furnishing and Design. People often ask me, why habitation for my home? Well, I could give you hundreds of reasons. I could talk about the extensive collection of furnishing suppliers or our exceptionally talented design team. I could talk about service, but the truth is, habitation clients come back room after room and home after home, and that speaks volumes. Habitation puts some drama into your interiors.
Ghost Stories and Beyond returns to Billy's in Anoka March 1st at 6:30 p.m. Join Char Savoy and myself, Greg Bakken, for a monthly in-person get-together as we share some paranormal stories that happened to us, but also listen to your stories.
Share your stories of ghosts, UFOs, or Bigfoot. It's a fun night of listening to ghost stories. It's $10 a ticket to join in, and we'll see you March 1st at 6:30 p.m. at Billy's in Anoka.
We're facing into some of the greatest challenges the world has faced in decades. How do we address this great transformation in how we deal with land, how we engage with people, how we produce enough food but produce it just and regeneratively? And how do we do that at a time of social, economic, and climatic emergency?
Attend the Regenerative Agriculture and Food Systems Summit in Chicago on March 28th and 29th. This summit brings together farmers, food and beverage brands, and stakeholders with one unified mission: to accelerate the transition to regenerative agriculture. Together, we can build a more abundant and resilient food system for generations to come. For more information, go to Regenerative Agriculture Summit USA. Enter the code FoodFreedom10 for a 10% discount. That's 10% off with Food Freedom 10.
And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bach, and thank you for joining us. Our guest today is Lily McNamara, who is part of the group Twin Cities Pagan Pride that is putting on Paganicon 2023 that takes place March 17th through 19th at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth. You can find out more at tcpaganpride.org. I don't always want to say it, org, because I don't like saying it. I always like to spell it out for some reason. You're like, whatever. And, last segment we talked about the convention a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk more about it. I can only imagine that there are people listening who be like, I've heard the term pagan. Mm-hmm. I've heard us talk about this before, but what truly is pagan?
So pagan and paganism are really umbrella terms, and I feel like everyone really wants to make them just one thing, and they're not. It basically means any belief system or religion or path that is not mainstream. And so you can be monotheistic or polytheistic. You can have more than one god or just one inside paganism. And basically the main things are do harm to none, mm-hmm. but take no sugar.
Sure, absolutely. So the thing is here is you're talking about the mainstream, like anything that's not mainstream.
Yep.
My question becomes, as time moves on, things become more mainstream, don't they? Mm-hmm. And is there new things that come in that aren't mainstream that, because we evolve, we change, mm-hmm. we move forward.
Yeah.
Does that line of sight change mm-hmm. then as time goes on?
I believe it does. And one of the cool things is that you can blend and have eclectic and melting pot. So it's not just one thing in a box. There's Christo-paganism, which is like Christianity and paganism blended together, mm-hmm. which no one thinks would fit, but they do. Mm-hmm. And so it's being able to have an eclectic variety of beliefs that fit you personally. And whether that is strict druid or a buffet of a little bit of everything, it's all welcome and it all counts and is paganism.
That's incredible. So Twin Cities, I think Twin Cities is a wealth of different views. Mm-hmm. Very, it's a very open city. I mean, at the same time, it's not.
Yes.
but it certainly lays a lot of room for a lot of people. How is the community, the paganism community in the Twin Cities?
And we are actually one of the biggest pagan communities in the country.
Okay.
And that honestly has a lot to do with Llewellyn Publishing Company.
Oh, yeah.
The metaphysical and occult publishing company that if you build it, we will come.
Yeah.
So it's a great hub for the authors and everything in the community. And it's a lot of diversity. And so depending upon what you're into, if it's like Norse mythology or Druidry or kitchen witchery, there is something in the Twin Cities. There is a group, there is a meetup, there is a Zoom call that you can join. I love the buffet of the Twin Cities for paganism. There is mm-hmm. something for everyone, no matter what. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, no, and so, you know, when if you go to Pagonicon, and maybe it's beyond Pagonicon, maybe it's somewhere else as well. I'm assuming it would be. If people are like, I want to see what's out there, I mean, how can they do that?
So I'll tell you how I did it.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I knew nothing about paganism and I didn't know anything. I just thought I was spiritual, and I still am. I went, and I like one-stop shopping. So Paganicon and different conferences like that, like the Samhain Symposium stuff in the Twin Cities, it's one-stop shopping. You have a bunch of different workshops in one spot. You have a bunch of different authors in one spot. You have a bunch of different vendors who have different wares that you can use. And so you're able to sample, because all it is an hour or a 90-minute workshop. And you're like, you can go, okay, not for me. I had a few that weren't for me, and others that I'm like, oh my God, this is what I've missed. I love it. And it just fits into your life so perfectly. I like that sampling at Paganicon, and it makes it so much easier for people who are just starting or want to learn more and, you know, are tired of Google, or they don't want to read it in a book. They want to talk to people. Yeah.
So at Paganicon, where it's represented, are they all from Minnesota or some from Wisconsin, or what is kind of the area that we're looking at here?
The country.
So it's all over.
Yep. We are one of the biggest conventions
in
the country, I dare say, in an indoor, like pagans like camping. So an indoor convention.
Not this time of year here in Minnesota.
So one of the biggest indoor conventions in the country. And we have people coming, like Christopher Hughes is one of our guests of honor this year, and he's from Europe. I don't remember what country, but Europe. And so like we have people from around the world come and speak, and we have people from around the country fly in just for this event. It's the biggest thing that they do all year, and we're very proud that we were able to make that.
I think about like the conventions that I do, though, like either paranormal or the other like British television ones, whatever else, that, you know, you have people who have tables and they talk, you know, that people can come by, get whatever information. Do you have that there as well, beyond the vendor side of things?
We actually do. We have it's like an author area.
Sure.
And so different authors throughout the day, throughout the entire convention will be up, and you can walk up, you can get a signed copy of their book. You can ask them questions. One of my colleagues, S.J. Tilley, will be there on Saturday, and I'm super excited because she's not a pagan author, and yet she's more than welcome to come and be an author there, because everyone is welcome.
That's great. I mean, sounds really exciting, actually. Are you able to, and if you can't say this, that's totally fine, roughly like how many people attend the convention?
Okay, so that is a difficult question because of the pandemic.
Yes.
So last year, 500 to 550, which it was our first year back. That's amazing.
Sure.
This year, we're still 3 weeks out. Please buy your tickets. We already have over 600.
That's great.
And we still have 3 weeks to go.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a good sized convention, but it's not overwhelming. I mean, I'm sure you've been. I know I've been to conventions that have like 5,000 people.
You're right. I like manageable, where it still feels like a community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I only ask because I do know that people are weary of just in general, and even before the pandemic, there are a lot of us who, you know, get frightened by the sun, don't want to go out. I don't mean to be disparaging, because I am one of them, but you be very careful about that sort of thing, because you just want to know how many people are there.
Yeah. And so eventually, like, I would love it if we broke 1,000. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but I mean, that's my personal, like, I would celebrate for, but it's not like a 60,000, like, no, it's not.
No, which is great. So I say to people who go to the convention, take advantage of it.
Yep.
Take advantage of it. Take advantage of talking with people and get as much information as possible out of it.
Yep. One-on-one time is priceless, and we like to think that we have a lot of it there.
That is really, really cool. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I was excited for all of you last year about that too. Why don't we do this? Let's take another break. We're going to continue our conversation with Lily McNamara as we talk more about Paganicon 2023. We're going to talk a little bit about paranormal as well. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Pruner's Supper Club invites you to enjoy drinks, a delicious dinner, and live music from both big-name local and national artists in a wide array of styles. Before or after your show, check out the new Maggie's Lounge, a perfect spot to visit with friends. It's open Wednesdays through Sundays beginning at 4:30 with cocktails and light fare. And you don't need a ticket to enjoy the great atmosphere of Maggie's. Pruner's Supper Club off Moore Lake and Highway 65. A little piece of old school nightlife in the 21st century.
Hey, it's Patrick. February is the month for love, but when was the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it really deserves? If your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you are breathing unhealthy levels of nasty dirt, dander, bacteria, and germs that keep recirculating again and again. And what's worse, you're going to be stuck inside breathing that nasty stuff for months. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love for you and your home with their Love Your Rug special. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified from the Twin Cities' #1 carpet cleaner starting at just $119. Plus, this month only, they are throwing in a free hallway to sweeten the deal. But hurry, this deal won't last long. And because love has no limits, Zero Res is going to take $75 off your air duct cleaning. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, or go online at ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Zero Res.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with MetamorphosisConnections.com. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search MetamorphosisConnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on MetamorphosisConnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting MetamorphosisConnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's MetamorphosisConnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about the joy of live fire cooking. Cooking over a live fire is the oldest and most basic form of cooking.
What's new is in the way fire is handled and its heat is managed.
It's easier to experience and enjoy the smell and taste of food cooked over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs live fire grills, fire pits, and ovens. Let us help you experience the smell, the taste, the fun of cooking with fire.
Pizza was first made and is still best made in an open fire oven. The radiant and conductive heat of a live fire is unmatched for wood roasting and baking artisan breads too.
Come see the many ways you can cook over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
This is Ross Stadheim, partner at MJSB Employment Justice. At our firm, we specialize in cases where our clients tried to do the right thing by reporting illegal or unethical conduct and were demoted or fired. There are laws in place that protect people like you who tried to do the right thing by reporting a problem but were retaliated against. At MJSB Employment Justice, we are fearless advocates who will protect your rights and obtain justice, whether it be a Fortune 500 company or something smaller.
Be heard. You deserve better. Contact us today at mjsbjustice.com.
And I was just teaching Lily how to do radio, so expect her to take my job here, telling her how the timing works and stuff. So that's good. And I also wanted to give a special thanks, as always, to Char Savoy and Metamorphosis Connections. Please go and check out the site, metamorphosisconnections.com. You're going to see a lot of information there that will help you. And, please let them know that you heard about them through AM 950 Ghostbox Radio. I'd appreciate it. Speaking of Miss Char Savoy, Miss Savoy and myself will be doing this Wednesday. It's already March 1st. How did that happen? Granted, there's 2 days missing in February, and we're still looking for those. Ghost Stories and Beyond returns to Billy's in Anoka this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. As I said, join Char and myself for our monthly in-person get-together as we share some paranormal stories that happen to us, but also we love listening to your stories. I absolutely love it. As we talked last time, there will be some spirits there in the form of booze. And, we could talk about ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, whatever you want. This is your time. And, maybe if there's a way we can try to see if any of the management at Billy's could talk about their ghost stories, because Billy's is a pretty haunted location. So is Anoka in general, as we know. It's a fun night of listening to ghost stories. It's $10 a ticket, does not cover food or drink. And it's in the basement of Billy's. So we hope to see you there. And I'm really looking forward to it. And also I wanted to say, please keep Saturday, April 8th on your calendar. We're doing a special 2-hour episode of Ghostbox Radio. That's Saturday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we talk about alien abductions and alien experiences. All the guests that we're going to have on that night are going to have some fun. You're going to have some interactions with had some interactions with aliens, and we're going to hear their stories. It's going to be pretty incredible. It's going to be pretty intense, I think. I'm going to update more information as soon as we get it, but April 8th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for a special live 2-hour episode of Ghostbox Radio. Definitely check it out. Now, if you miss Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken Live, AM 950 replays these episodes Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, or you can listen anytime by going to Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. After listening, please leave a positive review for my show. That would be really great. I'd really appreciate that. Our guest today is Lily McNamara, who is part of the group Twin Cities Pagan Pride that is putting on Paganicon 2023 that takes place March 17th through 19th at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth. You can find out more at tcpaganpride.org. And, wanted to talk a little bit, because we talked before the show a little bit, Lily, about, that connection between doing paranormal work and doing, mediumship and metaphysical stuff. I so badly want to ask you if you had any paranormal experiences, but that's not going to be a question that you're going to be able to answer, because it's a different, we're looking at the same things a little bit differently.
Yeah. And I've helped with investigations before as like a medium, and they are fabulous and wonderful. I love that it's looking at the same thing in a different perspective.
Yeah.
That rocked my world, because I was so used to just doing mediumship and I realized someone had explained to me years ago, not everyone's like you, because everything is so normal and natural. I've trained in this. And they said, not everyone can see spirits and talk to them. And that's what the paranormal is. It's giving access to everyone. And I thought that was so cool. And why wouldn't you want to be a part of that and help with that? That, like, using the ghost box and the lights and everything, it allows everyone to see the spirits and communicate with them, not just mediums. And I was like, that to me is the best part about the paranormal.
So you don't look at it and be like, why are you doing all that? Because they just can talk to me.
Yeah. Like, I look at all the equipment and I'm like, well, no, I don't need you to touch the box. Yes or no. I hear you say yes or no. I can see your body language as you say it to know if you're angry or not. But not everyone can do that. Yeah. And so me going about and she'd be like, oh yeah, this is normal. It's like, again, when I was younger, people explained it to me. It's like, yeah, but not everyone does that. So don't stop assuming that everyone sees the world like you do, and be open to helping people see the world in a different way through this equipment and through paranormal. And I was like, oh, yes, please. Oh, yes, please.
Have you, it's funny because, we, through that class that Char and I do, we've had some folks with strong mediumship abilities that they were, that they've been mediums before they took the class.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch, because some will come in and they'll be with a group of people and they forget that they're with a group of people. So they're communicating with spirit.
Yep.
Not verbally. And people are, and some of us are going to be a bit like, we need to hear you. You need to say it out loud.
Yep. And I've been a medium for a long time, but I've also been, like, traditionally trained and been doing this professionally. And so it's like, I will always turn towards the spirit and communicate, and then I'll say everything out loud. And I encourage people, like, if there was a spirit in the room, I wouldn't want you to make eye contact with me. I would want you to look at the spirit and talk to them. I am simply the voice machine. I am the talking puppet. it is interesting to have people, because like if you weren't here, I would just do it all, mediumship. I wouldn't.
Yep.
But if you were here, it'd be like, oh yeah, and then this is what's being said, and this is how it's being said, and stuff like that. So it's a very important skill for mediums to have if they're going to be doing it around other people.
Yeah, and I've also had mediums say that they're just like, they're saying spirit is just like, I don't feel like I have to answer, even though there's other people there, I don't have to answer through the equipment because you're here.
Yep.
And it's tough because we want to hear. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, I am all about using mediumship. I do it for certain aspects of what I do as well, but I love the equipment and it's fun to see. But I think there's that fine line too of not wanting to be exploitative to spirits. Like, are we going to have them turn on a piece of equipment because it will actually help us in the investigation, or are we being selfish and we want to do it because it's like having the dog jump through the hoop sort of thing.
Performative? And
exactly.
And I always have a hard time with people doing that. So here is the phrase that I tell people with me and my gifts and stuff, because they can be very entertaining, and I'm entertaining. I am not a performing monkey in heels.
Yeah.
I am not here to entertain you and never will be. If you are entertained, that's a side effect. I am here to help you either as a person or the spirit as a spirit. And so that's the attitude I always go into it with. It's like, if this turns into a performing monkey in heels, I will immediately disengage from the situation.
Yeah, no. And I feel all of us that in our orbit would do the same sort of thing too.
Yep. Yeah, because some of it is just super cool to you said, I do not know what it's called. I call it the Christmas tree. It is not. It is a cylinder that has a bunch of different colored lights.
Yep, it's called the Christmas tree. No, it's not. It's called a REM pod.
Oh, I was like, oh, I got all excited. And that is my favorite because, of course, I like Christmas and Christmas lights and stuff. But seeing that light up makes me super happy.
Yeah.
It's like, but are you doing it for performative, or is it actually giving you useful information? But that is my favorite tool because it reminds me of a Christmas tree.
Well, and the thing about the equipment, and we talk about this in different investigations, is like, when is it too much equipment out on a table? I could fill up this table with stuff.
Yeah.
But is that necessary? And it is not. Yeah. That's the answer. It's not necessary because you should be able to have a couple things. I understand that spirit may gravitate to something more than one than the other, but if you're giving a choice of 75 items, it's too much.
I did not think there were 75. I'm like, there's 10, right?
Well, even 10, 8, 5.
It's because when I think about it, not to go off on a tangent, I'm like, okay, something video recording, there's usually a camera up somewhere, and then usually some kind of not attached to the camera, an audio, to catch the whispers, and then something that lights up. In my mind, it's like those three things. That's the tripod of paranormal. Anything else, I'm like, that's a lot of technology and a lot of frequency in a room with something so delicate as a spirit. Is any of that interfering with the spirit's frequency?
Yeah. I mean, and that's just it. And when you're working, and it's tough, when you're doing the events and stuff, everybody wants to have their moment. They want, you're investing in the equipment, you're bringing it to some location. So you're in a room and 5 different people have the same sets of equipment and they put it out there. And I appreciate that, everyone wants to have that experience, wants to have that moment. That's why we do them.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, it's just, we're so careful when we're getting people in and remind them where this isn't a dog and pony show.
Yep.
You can put it out there, but just know that, it might be too much for them or whatever else. And you get some people who show up with nothing and they're just like, I don't even want to talk to them. I just want to experience it. I just want to see what happens amongst the people. Observe.
I love it. So I have a question for you based off this. As we're talking, does an attendee's energy matter? So in personal sessions and stuff, when I have clients, if their energy is super off, it won't be as successful as a session. And so, like you said, 5 different people will show up with the same equipment. If someone is showing up ready to rumble, like, and their energy is, I want this, I want this, I want this. I feel like that if I was a spirit, I'd be like, no, thank you to you. I'll take a hard pass, but I'm going to go over here to the nice lady who just keeps twitching. Like
100%. And, you know, the thing is too, it's like, sometimes we have to tell people to ramp it down. You know, you get the people who are, you know, there's a certain type of investigator comes in that might have watched a couple of the shows on travel that are a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. And that is not how we want it to be done. If we see anyone do that, they get a warning. If they continue doing it, they're out. Yep. No refund, no nothing. And also another way to do it real fast is that what we get is someone will come in and you go to, say, like the Mounds Theater, and you're looking for people who, the spirits who have come through that, you know, were there at the bygone age of movies and stuff. All of a sudden, your grandma comes through. Yep. And people aren't expecting a loved one to come through. I had one time, and I'm going to say this quickly before we go to break, I had someone come through and we've identified it as a lady who is in the group, her unborn child.
Oh, yep.
And that, I mean, sometimes we get it where they are absolutely, I mean, we have to like sit with them for a bit and help them through that because that was not what they bought the ticket for.
I agree. I've had galleries like that where if the intention isn't set and everything, like funneling the message through me, and like a child will come up or something, and it's like, ooh, okay. Yeah. So it takes a minute for some people.
It really does. And it's, I mean, and it's a very good question. I mean, I guess we switched roles. You are now asking the questions. I mean, no, it's fine. I mean, I get it. I wasn't doing a good job. Get someone in who can do it. I appreciate it very much.
I'm just such a nosy person, though. Like, you know me, I'll ask 50 million questions to a stranger.
Well, let's do this. We're going to take our last break. We're going to finish our conversation, or Lily's interview of me, I guess, as we talk more about Paganicon 2023. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Winter is here, and there's a good chance your home isn't being heated efficiently. And it's likely because of air sealing and insulation problems. Inadequate attic insulation is the leading contributor to high energy bills, cold rooms, and ice dams. Great news, the energy-efficient pros at Snap Construction can fix it all. Stop the heat from leaking out and save. Call 612-333-SNAP or visit snapconstruction.com for your free infrared energy inspection. Install with Snap Construction and qualify for over $750 in rebates and incentives. State and city programs are now offering 0% financing for qualifying insulation upgrades. So call Snap Construction for your free insulation energy consultation and start saving on your energy bills. Call 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com. Snap Construction is arguably the most well-reviewed insulation and exterior contractor in the metro area. Visit snapconstruction.com.
Ghost Stories and Beyond returns to Billy's in Anoka March 1st at 6:30 p.m. Join Char Savoy and myself, Greg Bakken, for a monthly in-person get-together as we share some paranormal stories that happened to us, but also listen to your stories. Share your stories of ghosts, UFOs, or Bigfoot. It's a fun night of listening to ghost stories. It's $10 a ticket to join in, and we'll see you March 1st at 6:30 p.m. at Billy's in Anoka.
2023 is here, and you can make it the year of the Eagle with the National Eagle Center. You and your family can enjoy exciting Eagle experiences, including field trips, private habitat tours, and exclusive behind-the-scenes tours. Meet live eagles up close, view bald eagles and golden eagles in the wild, and receive personal one-on-one education with dedicated and knowledgeable Eagle experts as you journey into the world of eagles like never before. Learn more and plan your unforgettable Eagle experience today at nationaleaglecenter.org/experiences.
Bill Maher. Every year, somebody, I don't know who, but they keep a registry of the names that parents are giving their newborns. They've been naming kids things like Pistol, Shooter, Magnum, Remington. This is sick. Liberals don't do this. Liberals don't name their kids Prius and Juicer.
Bill Maher in the Mystic Showroom, May 21st. Get tickets now at the Mystic box office or online at mysticlake.com.
Hi, this is Laura. Listen to Food Freedom Radio every Saturday at 8 a.m. or anytime via podcast. Our individual health is connected to the health of each other and connected to the health of the earth. We know the problems with the dominant food system: climate change, deadening soils, nitrates in the water, factory farming, injustice, concentration of wealth. How do we both as individuals and as a community step up and support a living food system which honors the earth? Tune to Food Freedom Radio every Saturday at 8 a.m. and remember to support your independent farmers.
And next week on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken, we are not a political show, but we're going to be talking about the White House, the haunted White House. I'm going to have on guest Dale Kazmarek as he talks about some of the more haunted aspects of the White House through time. And it's one of those subjects I've always been interested in, so I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a fun one. Don't miss it. For our final segment, we return to our guest today, Lily McNamara, who is part of the group Twin Cities Pagan Pride that is putting on Paganicon 2023 that takes place March 17th through 19th at the Crown Plaza, Plymouth. You can find out more at tcpaganpride.org. See, once again, listen, last night we did a live streaming investigation from the Grand House, and you could tell I was really getting tired. We kept trying to play something from an audio recorder, like, okay, let's listen through the speaker, except the speaker, I would never plug in the speaker. So a constant, we needed Patrick there to kind of get things going. And, I don't know, Patrick. I mean, we needed you there.
Well, I wish I could have been there.
Our faithful tech guy.
So let's wrap up this segment. I want to talk a little bit about the work that you do outside of these conventions, because you do your own thing as well.
Yes.
And what is that? Tell us about it, please.
So I'm a holistic practitioner and a psychic spiritual advisor. So I help one-on-one clients to be the hero of their own story and to get over a lot of hardships. And actually something that you had mentioned that was really cool, the alien thing in April.
Yeah.
So I've actually done readings where we have discussed past lives in other dimensions.
Oh, nice.
And so that's what it reminded me of.
Yep.
So
yep.
when is that? It's April 8th?
April 8th at 8 p.m.
I love it. So that's what it reminded me of. So I help people deal with past lives and trauma and to really just feel empowered to be the best version of themselves through tarot and psychic mediumship. And then I have the Samhain Symposium, which is my own pagan and spiritual event, which is just about giving back to the community that I love. And it's about diversity and really having a place for everyone in the community. And give me a hatchet, I will carve out a space for anybody.
Yeah.
I want everyone at the table.
I remember we had you on to talk about that in October. And, we haven't talked a lot about it since, but how did that go?
Smashing event.
Fantastic.
It broke even, and for an event to break even its first year is unheard of. So I am immensely happy with my community coming forward, and everything was great. There was nothing, like a lot of people were really concerned that it's like, oh, it's so diverse that there's going to be hatred, that someone is going to come and be prejudiced. And there was nothing like that. And I always told people, I'm like, I'm very open about what the event is. And if you want to bring that negativity, 1, don't come. 2, if you do, you get to deal with me face to face. And I am a very loud person. So it was fabulous. And I can't wait to do it again. It's on October 28th this year. And so it's going to be fabulous, bigger and better than ever. That
is great. And the thing about that, what really kind of drew my attention when we talked about it is how you made it very personalized for people. You made it so that there are things and I made me think of a local Doctor Who convention that I'm part of called Council Room, that it's about what can we do to make the congoer experience a good one, a personalized one, one that just makes you feel like that you're not just somebody who's paying us money and you can walk around, but that there's something that you're going to leave with that's going to you're just going to feel better about everything.
Yeah. And so there is a famous quote that actually kind of like sprung the Samhain Symposium out of it. And I can't remember who the quote is by, but it's a good library will have something to offend everybody. And I made the Samhain Symposium. I wanted it to be so diverse that there was something to make everyone uncomfortable, to push their boundaries. I wanted something for everyone, but also something that was outside everyone's comfort zone, no matter what that was. And so that's the quote that I was like, I want true diversity, and true diversity means that you will not be comfortable all the time, but you will always feel safe here.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone who's there is celebrated.
Yep. Exactly. For exactly who they are and where they are. It's never like, oh, we wish you were better or different. It's like, oh no, you fabulous the way you are. Don't change.
Don't change. You're perfect as you are. And
exactly.
And if you want to explore other areas, that's there too.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, if someone wants to get a hold of you for the work that you do, how does that happen?
Most people go to the website or social media. I'm a good millennial. I am all over social media. So lilyofthelight.com or at lilyofthelight on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
And you did a live video right before coming into this fine building.
Yep.
Fine establishment.
Yep. I did it from my car. And for those of you who cannot see, I'm wearing pretty makeup today. So lives are a must on pretty makeup days.
I was going to say, it's always great to dress up when you're on the radio. You know, that's really good. I mean, as you can tell, I mean, people probably think that I forget that there is a camera by the way I dress every week. But, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, sometimes you're just like.
Well, most of the time they see me because I'm all about authenticity. And this is my authentic self. But so is like, I wear a hat that has cat ears and I like wear hoodies all the time. And I'm like laying on my couch doing the lives. So they actually get to see like, no, I'm not just a hobgoblin. I swear I dress up occasionally.
So we don't have cat ears today because you decided not because of the headphones then? Is that, or you just.
The first time that I was here and did an interview several years ago, I wore this gorgeous maroon fedora and I biffed and forgot that at a radio station, you have to wear headphones. And so I had such messy hair. I perched it on top. And so from then on, every single time I come in to talk to anybody, I wear the French beret because I can wear the headphones with it. All my other hats are like statements.
That's funny. I mean, but that would be my luck too. Like, okay, I'm going to wear a hat because I just, you know, I don't care. And then I go somewhere where it's like, you have to take the hat off. Like, oh, please.
Yep. And I'm at the point in my life and like my spiritual practice where my hat, no one sees the top of my head. I participate in veiling, which just means your head is covered in public. And so when people are like, oh, you have to take off your hat. I'm like, yeah, no. It stays on.
Yeah. But I mean, that's I mean, and that's all par for the course that people have to respect.
Yep.
Those areas now too. I mean, they should.
Absolutely. And it's the diversity. A head covering can be anything. Yeah. And so you always just respect whatever people are doing with their own fashion or beliefs or anything like that.
It's amazing how sometimes it's so simple. Yet some people make it so hard.
I feel like people add drama and like a much ado about nothing.
Yeah, very much.
Way more than is rational.
Right.
Just go with the flow.
Right. Absolutely. Lily McNamara is part of the group Twin Cities Pagan Pride that is putting on Paganicon 2023 that takes place this March 17th through 19th at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth. You can find out more about the convention and the Twin Cities Pagan Pride at tcpaganpride.org. Also, we're talking, if you want to reach out to you directly, lilyofthelight.com or .com. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you very much. This has been Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on AM 950. Thank you all for joining me. Next week, we'll talk about the Haunted White House. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.